This is Get Real with Bob and Stacey, the show that helps you learn about the mortgage and real estate markets. Get the inside scoop from their expert list of guests and have some fun along the way. Now, here's Bob Gallagher and Stacey Alcorn.
Welcome back. You're listening to Get Real with Bob and Stacey. You're joining us for our Leaders and Legends segment, and our guest today is Michael Maher, world-renowned author and speaker. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Bob. Hi, Stacey.
Hello. So I have some background on Michael. I've known him for many years. He is North America's most referred real estate professional, or as I prefer to call him, the modern-day Dale Carnegie. He is founder of the Generosity Generation and is dedicated to helping salespeople earn a better living and live better lives. He rocketed to the top of his profession by earning more than $1 million in his third year of full-time real estate. With the slogan of, "We're not number one, you are," Kansas City Home Team continues to be one of the top real estate companies in Kansas City. Michael J. Maher is also one of the most in-demand speakers on referrals, generosity, marketing, and relationship building. What's interesting to me, Michael, do you really think you even need introduction anymore? Everybody in real estate, if you don't know Michael Maher, then
you're not in real estate.
You're not in real estate. And it's beyond real estate. It's like if you don't know Maher, then you're not in sales. Right?
That's fair.
Well, thank you. Well, here's the thing, right? Is out of the 1.2 million realtors that are, signed up with NAR, 600,000 of them are new. So every year,
really?
There's so much churn in the real estate market that there might be a lot of people who don't know me. So I appreciate that, and it's always good to get an introduction.
Right.
But, all those titles are just titles, right? My two titles that mean the most to me are husband and father, right?
Yep.
So, and I think that's what my entire business system is really all about, is, making sure that what's written in your business plan aligns with what you want written on your tombstone.
That's awesome.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus those being polar opposites, which I know happens.
Wow. That's powerful right there. So for anybody that has not read the 7 levels of communication, tell us basically what it's about and what inspired you to write it.
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing, it's referrals. The book is about referrals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about getting referrals without asking for referrals. It's more about attracting referrals, not asking. In fact, asking referrals repels referrals, and running the 7L system will attract referrals.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, what inspired me to write it was just the demand for questions on how I was building my business. Howard Brenton interviewed me, probably 10, 15 years ago. And when he did that, he introduced me to the world as America's most referred realtor, and my phone blew up. And the emails started pouring in, and I would give them an answer. It's like the house phone parties or the triangle of trust or the networking stack or all the things that we do. They wanted to know how to do them. And I knew in my reply, I was giving them a good answer, but I was giving them an answer. I wasn't giving them the answer to how to be America's most referred realtor. So I knew I needed to write a book so that it was the answer, the complete answer. But like a lot of people who want to write a book, I was that guy who said I was going to write a book, but didn't. And then on December 18th, 2007, I flatlined for 37 seconds. If you're going to do that, do it in the hospital. That's where I was. I was resuscitated, on the way down to surgery for a temporary pacemaker. I just thought I almost died with that wisdom inside me. That night in ICU, I outlined on a hospital napkin 7L. And a lot of what I outlined that very first night is the table of contents for 7L.
Wow. So I know I've read the book and I recommend it constantly. I keep copies of it in my office to give out to real estate professionals, salespeople, entrepreneurs, mortgage people. And just having known you for many years and following you, I know that you have built like this massive army of followers who are absolute advocates of the 7 levels of communication, and now you have this whole generosity generation network that you've built. Tell us about the generosity generation.
Yeah. So what's interesting is in the book, the generosity generation is really symbolic of the consumer, which is kind of interesting. It's the consumer. If you do, like, Google has what's called the N word, what's it called? It's basically the number of times a certain word shows up in publishing or on the internet. And Google, it's Ngram, N-Gram, I believe is what it is. So anyway, if you look at generosity, it was a steady decline all the way up until the mid-2000s. And then basically, interestingly enough, just before my book came out and continuing today, generosity is on the rise. The word generosity is on the rise, but not only the word, but this aspect in the consumer. The consumer no longer wanted to be closed, no longer fell for manipulative, influential tactics. They understand them. They see it coming a mile away. So what they want is real, authentic. And so interestingly enough in the book, it was listen, it's the generosity generation is you have to adapt to not Gen X, not Gen Y, not millennial. You need to adapt to the consumer that is Gen, which is generosity generation. But it's kind of come to become the overarching name for our community because we had a lady call us about the event in the book, which was entirely fictional in the book, but she called us about the event and said, "Hey, when's your next generosity generation event?" And I was like, I was looking at my wife going, "Okay, we don't have any generosity generation events. I don't know what she's talking about." And so basically I thought quickly on my feet and said, "Hey, where are you?" And she said, "Des Moines." And I go, "Well, could you get like 100, 150 people together in like 60 days in Des Moines?" And lo and behold, our first Gen was in Des Moines. 6 weeks later, we were in Birmingham, sold out, literally fire marshal sold out. And then 3 weeks after that, we were in Atlanta, with over 300 crazy realtors. And it's we're on event number 50 now.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's great.
It's awesome to watch it too. So do you find now that you've been doing this for so long that that basically the concepts of 7 levels have spread beyond realtor and lenders into basically everyone?
Yeah, absolutely. The mainstream. Yeah, it's definitely, here's the thing, right? I can't take, I'm not sure if that's how it happened, right? Is that 7L was this and then it's kind of gone out. I think what happened is the consumer has changed. And a lot of salespeople and businesses have had to adapt to the consumer of the generosity generation. And it just so happens that 7L is the blueprint for the strategy on how to approach the generosity generation. A lot of them were doing it on their own, right? Like Saturn came out with the no-hassle sales for used cars, right? And cars. And now you go to an auto dealership, the hardcore closer is gone. There are a few of the dinosaurs who continue to try to do that, but the consumer will now walk. And here's the amazing thing about doing it old school is that not only will the consumer walk, but they'll walk to their phone or walk while they're on their phone, and they will post on Facebook about the horrendous experience they just got at Joe's Used Cars, right? So it's like all the salespeople you can't get away with it anymore because they're going to tell people, and it's going to do the exact opposite effect of it's not worth one sale to destroy your entire business.
Right.
The beauty of utilizing generosity and appreciation for sales is that even if you don't get the sale, you could get a ton of word of mouth. You could get really good stuff about your business and a future client.
So let's talk about networking, because for anybody that's listening, many of our people that listen are in sales or entrepreneurs or in mortgages. How does networking come into play with 7L?
Yeah, well, it's critical because there's two groups of people: those you've met, those you haven't met. So those you haven't met is a bigger group of people. Mm-hmm. So the key is you need an approach to those you haven't met. Mm-hmm. And that approach is networking. In my opinion, it's networking because networking groups were founded to pass referrals. Do they always end up that way? The answer is absolutely not. But, yeah, networking is critical. Absolutely.
You have a Refer CRM system that you talk about. What is Refer CRM? Is that something new?
Yeah. It's not only new to us, but new to the world. Mm-hmm. In fact, nobody's doing what we're doing with Refer CRM. And here's the thing. Everybody asked me to design a CRM, a database, a software technology that implemented the 7L system. I was approached by every major CRM dealer, if you will, to do a white label 7L system database or CRM. Mm-hmm. And the more I was working on it and the more I was heading this project, I was finding that, you know what, the best CRM in the world is not a software or a technology. It's a person. So Refer CRM is not a database or software or technology. It's a person. The CRM stands for Community Referral Manager. You have a community of clientele, and you need a referral manager. So what I've done is I'm training an army, and I have trained a partial army of referral managers who act as your referral manager on your team, and they call on your behalf. They write your handwritten notes on your behalf. They help you organize your events. They follow up from your events. They post on social media for you, and they even text message for you as your representative. It's kind of the ultimate done-for-you database management. We believe it's the human solution to customer relationship management. The CRM is so misconstrued. It has become known to be the database or the software or the technology. But CRM means customer relationship management. It's supposed to be a process. It's supposed to be an experience. Mm-hmm. But everybody was hoping that we could automate drip campaigns and we could automate these postcards and we could just do one size fits all. And the fact of the matter is the consumer wants personalization and customization. And that's what we can do with Refer CRM.
So this totally blows my mind because one thing I'll say, I have given out hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of copies of the 7 levels of communication. When I talk to real estate agents that are struggling in their business, I say, here's the answer. Like everything you need to do is write in this book. It's
awesome
simple.
Book. Yeah.
Simple stuff too, like the note cards and stacking your appointments. Very, very simple stuff. What I see happen in the real estate business is agents do that for a certain amount of time until the business starts coming in, and then they get so consumed by the deals, they stop doing all the things that got them the deals. So this is like the answer to many prayers across the real estate network and probably mortgages too.
Yeah. Also read both books because that's kind of what happens in the books, between the two books.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So for anybody listening, like what can they do to start a referral-based sales system for their business?
Well, that's the power of what we've got in our business at this point is that there's 3 options, right? Is there's the do-it-yourselfer. There's a lot of, and I was this type of person when I started in the business. For the do-it-yourselfer, I truly believe read 7L. Right? We have created 7L, the 7L Action Guide. We've created tools that you can read and do it yourself. The second model is the done-with-you model, right? We'll do it with you, coaching, training. Now, we are out of the one-on-one coaching. With Refer CRM, we have stepped out of one-on-one coaching, and we do have some group coaching options where we'll actually do it with you. We'll help you create your communication plan with you, and we'll help you through the steps. But I truly believe the ultimate is the done with you or done for you model. And the done for you model is Refer CRM. You can literally bring on a new assistant that I've recruited, hired, trained, continue to manage on a daily basis, and I lead them every single day. And you don't have to hire them. You don't have to find them. You don't have, if one leaves, you don't have to replace them. We have an army. We have people ready for the next. So I think that's, that's the big thing is that check into Refer CRM. If it's not in your affordability range, then do the done with you. Do the training that we have.
Right.
And if that doesn't fit, then do it with you, which starts with 7L, the book on referrals.
Wow. So it's unbelievable. It's revolutionary, and it's going to be exciting to see how this unfolds with real estate agents across the country. I understand that you have a special today for our listeners. Tell us about it.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we have a webinar that we're doing in the coming week. And I encourage, it's freebonuswebinar.com. It's free. It's educational. And what we're going to do is we're going to give a referral generating strategy that you'll be able to put into place immediately that will help you get started with referrals and networking. Freebonuswebinar.com. Okay. And it's for you, the listeners of this show, as my appreciation to Stacey and Bob.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So is that at a particular day or time where they can go on and watch it whenever?
Yeah, so it is a particular time and date. You can sign up for the live one, but here's the deal. If you can't make the live one, we'll send you the recording so that you can listen to it over and over again or, watch it when you have time.
Awesome. Wow, well, we are almost out of time. I'm going to go check out the freebonuswebinar.com to sign up for the webinar. Thank you so much, Michael. As always, it's a pleasure learning from you. I already have 2 pages of notes that I will go and implement in my own business, and I probably need my own Refer CRM. So
absolutely,
we'll speak more on that after.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. And here, one last thing is just let me express my appreciation, not only my appreciation, but the industry's appreciation for all the value that you guys bring time after time after time on this show and with what you're doing. Thank you so much for what you do, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks,
Thank
Michael.
you.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more Get Real after this.